We're chasing comedy, working on jokes, working on bits, seeing what sticks, seeing what stinks. We're Brian and Dustin, and we're chasing comedy.
I have never seen a better live show than the Bobby Lees. They are phenomenal. Ooh. So, yeah, you should definitely. Ooh. Exactly. Because guys like Brian don't know who they are, which makes them cooler.
Right. Who are we talking about? I don't even know who we're talking about.
Okay. Eat your food. And big boys are talking over here. People are gonna comment on you eating food now. Last week it was you laying in bed. Now it's gonna be you eating. He does not understand. He would never do this for his stand-up, but this is what he does for his podcast.
It was gum. Okay, it was gum. Anyway,
it's a band called the Bobby Lees. They're a punk band out of Woodstock, New York. It's I think it's a brother, sister, and then another chick on bass or chick on guitar. And they're fantastic.
Yeah,
They're just really good punk band. Young, it's Iggy Pop's favorite band, and Henry Rollins. They go see him live. You go to the shows, and it's like these legends up front watching them. So it's kind of like when you do your comedy. You know, it's you got like Rich Little in the front. You got like Stephen Wright in the balcony.
Corbett, Monica. Yeah, I've got Jackie Vernon, Morty Gunty. These are. I'm dropping names here.
Carrot Top snuck in to see you. You know what I mean? Like it's a same kind of thing.
Gary Mule Deer comes by. I'm look at all these. No one is getting any of these references. Okay.
I don't think you're getting them. I think sometimes you'll.
I don't think I'm getting them.
It's so obscure. You don't even know what you're saying.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I don't know how I managed to stay current with my analog sensibility. It really is. Seriously, I still connect to the kids, and I'm not sure how or why.
You're not that current.
No, I knew you were going to say that. I just knew you had to shoot that down. I set it up. I heat it up.
You're one of the best performers I've ever seen, but you're not that current, and it doesn't take anything away from you.
No. I don't know, but define current.
I mean, TikTok. You know, like that energy, like that audience of TikTok or the people that are actually buying tickets. You know, it's like these Gen Zers. I don't know. I mean, you can relate. You have a great way of blending the past into the present.
Yes.
But that's not necessarily a current thing. That's like, saying, hey, I'm not current. This and this is a reference, and then you find a way to get all the people in the audience.
Yes, I make a friend of my alienation, my generational alienation. I think,
it's like an old rock band, and then they do like a new cover. They do like a current cover or something. You'll see like a lot of oldie guys, like Johnny Cash when he did like 9 Inch Nails cover. It was like then he was current. He was never current until that song. Until he did a song that really wasn't that current of a song, but it was 9 Inch Nails. So,
but that's like really interesting because like Johnny Cash, there's certain people like Rodney. I remember being at a Rodney Dangerfield concert when he was doing he was touring for Back to School.
Oh, very funny.
And the people in the audience were like young people, like the young people from that movie and from Caddyshack. Right, and he had this audience of really young people who thought that he was cool because he was the iconoclastic anarchist guy in Caddyshack. He was like the guy who was going against societal conventions, which was embodied by Ted Knight character, and so he's like, but you buy this hat, you get a free bowl of soup, hey, you were something before electricity, and he had these young people just screaming for him, and Rodney was like, I don't know what at that time, 60 or whatever it was, and it was very interesting to see that, and they were yelling for him to sing "Shake It Up, Baby,"
That's so funny. Well, I think that movie it's a movie where he's basically just the oldest one, him and Paulie, and so then everything else it's basically a high school movie or a college movie or whatever. So you have young people. Well, that's the smartest way to do it when you're old is get in something where there's young people. So then you can kind of steer. I saw Carlin, and it was like, but Carlin, it was more about his stand up. It wasn't about some flashy movie with a bunch of young people in it. It was like, I mean, Caddyshack's a great movie. I'm not taking anything away from any of the things Rodney did, but it is, a different level of comedian. But, it was like in Carlin, it was like, 15-year-olds. It was kind of like when I saw AC/DC. It was like the dad and then the son. Mm-hmm. You could tell it was a little bit of that. People introducing their kids to somebody like Carlin. But then he was exactly. I wouldn't necessarily say all that stuff about Dangerfield. You saw into that character because you're smart and stuff, and you get comedy and what it is to kind of go against the establishment. But Carlin was doing that straight on. There was no like you didn't have to figure that out. Like it was like he was doing it straight on, and I think that appealed to a young audience. So that's what I like. Carlin was basically 70-year-olds and 17-year-olds, and so that was great.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think Rodney Dangerfield, who was on the Tonight Show all the time, would be a youth hero.
Well,
okay, but not that he was.
Yes, no, no, he was everywhere, dude. It was it was a Natural Light commercial. It was like, but it was he was always in our face, and so he was like. Also, we didn't think about older people like we think about them now. Like back then, it was just like, I mean, Golden Girls was very popular, and like we let old people be, part of showbiz. Archie Bunker, like we allow. I mean, it was funny to any age. It wasn't like when we were kids. We were watching was old people on sitcoms. The Jeffersons and all this stuff. And we didn't go, oh, I can't connect to that guy because he's an old man. We just thought, Chico and the Man. Like it was all funny because it was just funny lines and they were great characters.
Yeah, who's the old guy? Oh God, and I hate to say old guy because it's not fair, but really funny.
Well, he's really old because he's dead now, probably. Whoever you're thinking
California comedian. He's like the angry California comedian guy, but older guy, and he's really funny, and he's just very anti-establishment. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I want to get his name.
What's his name?
I don't know. He plays a Comedy Store all the time.
Yes.
See, that's
and he's always raging.
Yeah, I
know that thing.
Yeah, it's okay. It's it's that thing we were all doing in 2005, and then now people think it's edgy, and you're like, all right, dude.
but
I know what you're saying. His name is Brian something. It's Brian.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it
Brian.
is. Yes, it is. Brian. Get his name. Not. You want to bet? $100.
$100. His first name isn't Brian.
$100 right here. All right.
$100 right now.
Yeah. All right. His name is Brian.
You got it.
His first name is Brian.
Okay. Well, you might be thinking of a different guy, but like.
Well, it doesn't matter. I still win.
No, his name ain't Brian. You just lost $100. But how are we going to track this down?
Because I'm going to find it right here. I got computers at my.
I know, but how do you search old guy, angry guy?
I know exactly who it is.
You do. Okay.
Just
hold
on.
It's not Brian. I'll tell you right now. And if it is, that's hilarious because I should know that because my name is Brian. That would be really funny.
That's too easy for you to know. Like it's that's confusing. That's why you don't know the name.
No, what's his name? He has got a special called like the Angry Pope or the.
Yeah, we might be thinking of two different guys. I think we're probably thinking of two different guys.
Yeah. He's like a guy, that, and then the people do that thing. He's like a kind of a Louis Black, but even more anarchist and beloved by comedians.
Brian Holtzman.
No, that's not who I'm talking about.
That's not big enough. That's and he's exactly what you just said.
Yeah,
it's the exact same act. He's actually more popular than your guy. I guarantee you.
Okay, I'll take your
California. I'm just saying, I live in California. I know all the California guys. It's like,
but if I said his name, you'd know his name.
Is he
like
alive?
The angry. Yes, he's got a special called the Angry Pope or something, or the Hold on a second. Somebody Google Angry Pope. Angry.
Nick DiPaolo.
Oh.
Was it Andy Huggins?
No, hold on.
We'll put in Angry Pope, see what comes up. It would just be the Pope right now because he's so mad.
It's not. Yeah, I'm completely not even.
Picture of the current Pope going, "Why are you messing with me?"
Yeah, I'm completely off. It ain't him. He's like an older guy. He almost looks like Wallace Shawn. he's like very well known in Los Angeles for being this like
Doesn't seem that well known.
iconoclast. He's like Brother Theodore was for a while, right? But
Okay.
like he's like a brother ranting, ranting
Okay.
anarchist.
All right, you got to find the name, otherwise we got to move on.
I know.
We got to move on.
I know. We got to move on. Anyway, we can't do this all day, but
well, one thing that was funny is, last week, this was really funny to me. Last week, we did a fun episode about the Bible being, something you can never do today and stuff. And Adam did, hear me out first. Adam did a great kind of video, like kind of, with the images and like all the things we talked about. And then I was like, I was going to post it. And then I was just like, it was too offensive, all the language that was in the post, that I didn't want to post it. And so I cut like a smaller version of it, because I was like, because that's the funniest thing was we were all talking about how you can't do the Bible now. And I couldn't post it because it was so much rape and all these things that it's like, you can't say all that on Instagram. so I was like, it was our point, like to the highest level, because it was like, you can't even post about it. That's how offensive the Bible was. And so I thought that was very funny.
Interesting.
That I didn't want to post it because I was like, this is too much. That's
really funny.
Chopping up women and all this. I was just like, I just didn't want to put that out there. And so it was just really funny that like our whole episode was like, you can't do that now. And then I didn't want to post about it just because I knew they would flag me or something. So
yeah.
And then Adam said he put it on YouTube, and I got a lot of hits, but then there was a lot of Jesus saves. People kept coming at him. So if we can get those people mad at us, that's a pretty good deal, because then you can really get the numbers.
Right.
Maybe I should post it, but I don't know. I just a lot of this. I really bleep out the rape word. I think that's a tough one. Yeah. It's like you just bleep out a little bit of that maybe. And just make it a little, if you don't bleep out that word, sometimes I feel like you're not going to they're going to put you in a little box, a little dark internet box.
What was the most objectionable part of that? What was, what was the, that you didn't like of your?
I was saying I didn't like it. It was just so much rape language. It was like rape.
Right.
I don't know if you realize, you say words and they flag you. So it was just a lot of that, and cutting women up into pieces and stuff like that. It was just a lot of that kind of language, and it was just like, I just don't know if I want that out there right now.
Yeah.
But then
we don't want that.
As I talk, I'm like, well, maybe that'll be good. Everybody would get mad at us, but get our numbers going.
Yeah, we need to court controversy and not be.
I just never want to say that word, really, to be honest with you, on an open platform. I'm trying to, I have an image of trying to be clean and stuff. I don't know, just that word enough it's tough.
Yeah. And there's this thing, there was this thing with the. If you don't want to say the word, we can't say it now. So I don't know.
We can say it in this aspect. I'm just saying.
Well, the Rape Academy. Did you hear about that? Yeah, the Rape Academy.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Did you know about this, Adam?
I heard about it. A lot of people were sharing that recently.
Yeah. It's just like but the thing that's weird about it is it's married guys learning how to drug their wives. And it's like it's the most bizarre. And it's
disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah, but I don't even understand. Like these guys, they're married guys. Like this is it's so many layers of weirdness and abomination.
Not even weirdness.
It's
just disgusting. It's not. Yeah. It's not a fetish. It's disgusting. Yeah. It's like
No, I understand
that. People should be shot in the head. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like
But these are obviously not happy relationships.
Well, it's not even about not being happy. It's just about like I think it. Well, I hate to say this, but it's just like you just don't know who you're with, and that's the thing is women are too trusting of men. I think is the bottom line on that. You think you married some dude that's the thing. Every true crime serial killer starts out with he was so great. He was coaching the soccer team in the little league, and he was just like always showing up to the PTA, and he murdered 14 girls. And you're like, what? Mm-hmm. It's like, but there are lots of the funny idea of like we're too trusting. You don't know. You could have a best friend that is just garbage, and you just don't know. You really don't know people's skeletons and anything, and they literally have skeletons.
So look at Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I mean that broke everybody. Like, I mean, it felt off, at times the way he would come at people. Anybody I always feel it's always the judgmental people sometimes are the ones that are hiding. That's what's happening like in this administration. People that come after a certain group end up being like, oh, I hate gay people. And then they have all these, fake boobs and doing all kinds of weird stuff. So it's like, I think that's the red flag number one. When you come at people for being a certain type of person, then you judge them.
I know, but that works all the way around because there was who's that guy, a male comedian who was like a super feminist guy, he had tattoos and everything else, and then they found out he was a sexual harasser. Like women accused of and he was like the guy judging see and going on every podcast talking about how he's a male feminist and all this stuff. And the guys who are male feminists, I always see those guys, and I always go.
Well, and now he's like super Christian. He's a super Christian comic, so now he went after that audience, and that's the thing. You could just be like, "Oh, God forgives me, so should you." Here's my new platform.
Wait, the guy we're talking about,
Jamie Kilstein.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a Christian comic now?
Super Christian comic, and he does well. He has like a Christian audience, and they love him.
When did that happen?
Past couple of years, yeah.
Wait a minute, that's the whole Russell Brand thing?
Pretty much, yeah. He was one of my barkers, so I know him well, and yeah.
Oh wow! Did you see Russell Brand?
He's another one. He's another
Piers
one.
Morgan looking for the Bible verse his favorite Bible verse, and he couldn't come up with anything. It was like,
yeah. I mean, Christianity is kind of like the Branson, Missouri for entertainers, where you're just like it's like the last.
That's really funny. That's like really funny.
Last grasp in an audience, and you're just like, all right, well, I guess I'll just believe in God now.
That's such an inside comedy, inside show business reference. It's a shame that's so inside, because that's a perfect metaphor for what that is. Because it's like, oh, I can't sell tickets. I'll become a Christian. Like the level of cynicism that you're. Because I sit there watching these guys and I go, wait a minute. Is Russell Brand real? I can't figure out whether Russell Brand actually believes this stuff, or he's just one of those people that had some kind of religious conversion experience, and that has caused him, like, people go, everybody's called a grifter now, and I always go, oh, you're a grifter. That means that they clock out like the cartoon with the sheepdog and the wolf, and they're fighting, and then they clock out and go, see you tomorrow, Harry. And these guys are like, Christian, I believe in Jesus. Then they, all right, see you tomorrow, Bill. And I don't believe, that. I see those people, and I can't believe that Russell Brand is that.
Well, I mean, it starts out as like, people getting canceled, and then the right side says, yeah, everybody's coming at everybody's woke, and they're trying to bring down a person. So then they get that kind of support from that side, because it's because anybody on that other side, doesn't believe in this cancel thing. And then I think what happens is then they realize that side is somebody you should, get into, and then so it's an easy pass to be like, oh, well, now you can't hate me. I'm a sinner. So are you. But at least I gave my life to the Lord, and then this is what I am now.
No, okay, but you're
past. And so no, it's a perfect PR turn. It's like people.
Yeah, but you're saying it is thoroughly calculated.
Yeah,
and they do clock out.
Sure, absolutely. Well, it's just like if you're on parole in prison and you bring up Jesus, you have a better chance of probably getting parole. It's just a quick fix that people realize. It's like, oh, just be. I mean, they might actually believe it, but it is something that will help your cause when you've done horrible things.
Yes, but if you and I know people like this who are the believers, the true believers, or the type of people who aspire to be that. If you've ever had conversations with them, you go like this. You're like, hello, is there anyone in there? Like, do you believe what you're saying?
Not always.
No, not everybody. What I'm saying is, I'm trying to distinguish somebody like Russell Brand. I really honestly, when I see Russell Brand, I think I don't see him as clocking out and going, "Hi, honey, I'm doing my whole Christian shtick right now." Like I see him as someone who's trying to convince himself that he really believes this stuff, which is a different kind of thing, right? Like
being an ex-Mormon, I can't believe people still believe Mormonism, but it's like there's millions of people that believe it. So it's like it's just once you're in it, you literally believe it.
No, that's what I mean. But what I'm saying is, you're saying Russell Brand really believes that, or is he a grifter? There's a difference.
I think if you spend enough time in anything, you'll start to kind of like it'll consume you. And so I think it might have been kind of like, this is my way out and this is a way to kind of save face. But then at the same time, you spend enough time around anybody, like you're going to end up being like them. And so he's probably all in. And so once you're all in, you almost hypnotize yourself into thinking that this is what you really believe. And then, that's how the whole religion thing happens. It's like you spend enough time with your eyes closed and like whatever and praying to things, you eventually think this is real.
I just I never can get, I totally don't, I never ever understood that. I never understood how people go from one day to this other thing where they start espousing, and I became a religious believer. I mean, I can understand spiritual beliefs, but I don't understand how somebody can flip a switch and become that.
Well,
and
you
do
flipped
that.
a switch in your life, I'm sure, like with your mental health and things. Like you've gotten into things that change your way of thinking.
Yes,
it's the same way. I mean, therapy's not that far off from religion. It's like you lose yourself into this helping yourself and doing all these things. I'm just saying, it's like you get into something, you go all in. You'd be surprised.
But that's the opposite of that, because what that is to strip away what's artificial, what you don't really feel, what you don't really believe. That's put
kind of what religion is, stripping away all those sins and like getting rid of the past and being in the present of this thing. It's very similar. It's like it's stripping down your life before this. It's very similar, dude. It's like, I mean, it's the same manipulative things that,
No, but somebody saying they believe something, I'm always fascinated by this. Is it somebody saying they believe something that they don't really believe? Like my mom being a Trumper, right? Like when and I could look in my mother's eyes and go, she doesn't believe a word she's saying. It's just I don't know what it is. It's some kind of,
I think she believes it. I think they all believe it.
Well, okay. All right. I can see my mother abandoning it in 2 minutes, like flipping the switch and just going the other way. And something that is that thin isn't real. Like anything you can abandon that quickly isn't a core belief. That's my point.
It's choice. I mean, it's like we choose not to be criminals. We choose not to murder, and we choose not to be bad people.
Speak for yourself.
You don't choose. You don't choose not to be a bad person.
You don't know.
We make that choice. I do know that we make that choice to not be bad people, but that bad thing is in us. It's like we can flip that switch pretty easy. If somebody walking in front of you with, or something, $100 sticking out of their pocket, you could either be a good dude and be like, hey, whatever. And there's some people that just can't help themselves. I'm going to take that 100. So it's like, I'm just saying, it's like, we're always, I think fighting that thing. And so I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just feel like there is a choice.
There's got to be a bit coming somewhere in this 20 minutes coming.
I just feel like I don't know. I just religion is fascinating to me. It's I think it's one of these things that hurts and helps, and people take it the wrong way.
If we go Christian, you're saying we can get a bigger following, is what you're saying. If we go.
I think if we offend the Christians, we could get a bigger following. If we totally sold out and became a Christian comedy hour, then yeah, we would probably be huge.
We don't have enough reach to be offensive. That's the problem.
I have a lot of reach. I don't know if you've seen some of my early work. I have a lot of reach.
We need to find some. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring up my slave bit on Showtime.
Oh, yeah.
Put that bad boy on there.
Hey, speaking of bits.
It better be a new one. Better be a new one. What do you got?
It is a new one. It is a new one.
It is.
And you can share. Oh, you might go, oh, you talked about this already.
Well, then I'm not going to give you love.
Which is a habit of mine.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I mean, I'm getting that feeling of dread right now going, I think this is not something.
As long as it's not Jim Jones, it's cool. What do you got?
It ain't Jim Jones.
Thank God.
It ain't. No, but I was working with a comic. Yeah. I was working with a comic. But can I say something about the Jim Jones?
No. What do you say? What you were going to say? No more Jim Jones today. We can't do it.
No. Okay.
We have 9 episodes of Jim Jones.
I can't help it. It's the way I write.
You can't help it. You choose. That's the thing. It's a choice.
I choose.
It's a choice.
All right. I'm gonna like kind of sheepishly introduce the idea of this bit, and then I'm gonna have Adam probably go, we talked about this already. Okay.
I know every single episode we've done too.
Okay.
So
my dad was a Snarf on the Thundercats and Frankie Berry, right? Okay. I've talked about this in my act a bit. I probably talked about it on the show a few times.
Probably.
But I've never had a bit that was really a bit.
I've helped you with a great bit, and I don't know if you've ever used it. Where I was just like we talked about it. Where your dad, having your dad as a cartoon voice, he's telling you things to do in the house in that character. We've talked about. I always thought that was a very funny way to go. I don't know if you ever did that.
Yes, that isn't this, but it's close. Okay, I was talking to another comic, and he suggested something which is so obvious, and I go, but it was like so simple that you go, oh, that's really smart, because I was saying it in the context of how I got. Everyone has their own wounding in their childhood, like everybody. And my dad couldn't be serious, right? Like he could do shtick and he could do voices and he did it all the time, almost to the point of being abusive. Like meaning he wasn't abusing me, but his inability to be emotionally authentic, he used humor and voices as a shield, and he would do them all the time. And the other comic goes, oh my God, that's such a great, just go to group therapy and everyone's telling their horror stories. And then you tell yours, which is like, my dad he used to take the belt out and he used to put studs in it. He would come into my room and I could hear the steps creaking and he'd get liquored up and he'd throw the bottle against the wall and begin beating me. And then another guy says, locked me in a closet, it's like I wouldn't eat. She wouldn't feed me. I was like, well, my dad used to do Paul Lynde all the time. Right? I remember one night he came in and he just wouldn't stop. It was just horrible. I was like, where are you going, Brian? What are you going to school? Where are you going? I mean, some days it was Jimmy Stewart. And on the bad days, it was James Cagney, right?
That's
okay,
great.
Now that bit isn't. I don't have any jokes for it, but that is really funny to me.
I did a bit like that where I was in the psych ward. They did first time in AA, and it was just like I'm in New York City, and it's like all these like criminals and people, and I remember it was like going around group therapy, and one guy's like, I why are you here? It's like I stabbed a guy in the neck, and then the other person's like, I attacked a lady, and then I was like, my dad didn't hug me enough, and so it's like a very
it's that.
It's a structured thing where
it's that formula is it's not the most original formula, but it is original for my story because it will allow me to do what I love to do, which is to shoehorn character voices as well as it's real. It's really actually it was painful. We would say to my father. My father had a huge fight with my sister at her wedding because he was doing shtick on the dance floor on that, when the daddy-daughter dance, and he wouldn't stop. And my sister said, "Could you just be serious for one time?" And my father was like, "Fine," and he just walked away. And it was like that was my dad. Like he couldn't. I
thought it'd be funny if he did like a serious character. That would be funny. Then he goes into
Peter Lorre or something,
a Godfather, something more of a serious character. That would be funny.
my daughter's wedding. The day of my daughter's wedding. I mean,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
You do like a
But
serious
it's like,
character.
yeah. But anyway, the point being, that's the bit. And I love the idea of following the formula where it's like it builds, because most people just do the bit. He did. Oh, my father did Paul Lynde all the time, you know. But to me,
nobody's
that's
gonna know
not.
who Paul Lynde is, but I like.
No. What I mean is, obviously, that's not going to work.
Yeah,
Paul Lynde is not going to work. But I'm saying, if you did Jimmy Stewart or John Wayne or one of the voices that my dad did, who's a little more well known, like Boris Karloff, he would, you know, I've got strawberry flavored sweeties or whatever. You'd have to pick the ones that are the most well known. The ones that will grab people's ear, like, you know, he did a parrot for a whisk commercial, you know, like he would do parrots all the time, you know. It drove me crazy. I just wanted to talk to him, and he wouldn't stop. Come on, Brian, let's talk. You know,
thank God he found showbiz, because I feel like schizophrenia is kind of embraced in showbiz. You know what I mean? But in like, if he had like a regular type of job, you know, he's your doctor and he's going into some crazy character or something like that, is also funny, where it's like him being any other thing besides like a voiceover comedian guy or whatever. It would just it would not have worked. But I feel like that's just in him. He's got all these voices in his head, which are great for like what he ended up doing. He was very successful at it. But like if he had done anything else, it would just been
I mean I don't want to belabor the fact that my dad did voices, or even take it into a direction like that. I want to hit this and run. Like I want to hit this and do the thing about group therapy, but do it in a way that's like the Robin Williams story in Good Will Hunting. You know, it's like he'd drop a wrench, like wrench or stick or whatever the hell. I can't remember the thing, but it's like, but really a lurid description of abuse by one person in the group, juxtaposed with what I dealt with. And follow
it works.
It's
a good. I enjoyed doing it. I did on my album. It was great. It's like, because it's like you can talk about other people and kind of bring it into yourself, and you know your stuff wasn't as bad as theirs, but to you it is. That's the thing.
Yeah,
to you it's
exactly.
Bad, you know.
Yeah, and be able to say and be able to follow that thread of me getting teary-eyed.
Yeah.
You know, it was me just like going, and then one night he did Boris Karloff, and he wouldn't stop, and it went on and on and on, you know, like,
that's great. I think that's a perfect
hours on end. Yeah. I just don't have I don't have the jokes for it. I don't have the.
You do. You already have them. You just have to pick which ones you want to do, which characters you want to do. That's all the joke. The joke isn't the written jokes. It's the characters.
Okay, well then what are some voices that you know from that era, or that what would be the ones that would work today? If Paul Lynde won't, and I agree that he wouldn't, right? But Paul Lynde. It's got to be like a cartoon voice. It's got to be something that's like a nostalgia. It has some nostalgia to it. That's not, so obscure. I mean, you know. Well, I'm
Frankenberry obviously is one he did, and like things like that. You know, something that might still kind of be in the psyche of everybody. But John Wayne is kind of I feel most people might kind of know what you're talking about with John Wayne, but I mean,
the problem is the voice has to be. This is what I always run into when I do voices: is that the voice has to have a certain level of funny. Like Paul Lynde is funny. John Wayne isn't necessarily funny. Jimmy Stewart's kind of funny. James Cagney could be funny, but those are voices.
Yeah, but
my father did Jack Benny all the time. He did. He did.
You're not going to know any of those people, but
none of them.
But characters, like think of any cartoon characters or whatever, or you could even do the actual ones that he did, the Snarf or whatever. It's like you could just do that one.
Snarf.
What was the name? What was it?
Snarf.
Was that the name?
Snarf. Yeah, Snarf.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Snarf was such a departure from that. Snarf.
No, I'm just trying to.
I wasn't a big Thundercats guy. I respect it.
Yeah.
And people are always wanting the movie to come out, and if they do, you better hope you get in on that. You got to get in shape. You got to get in shape.
Yeah, no. My father actually beat me out for that job. Right.
That's funny.
I actually auditioned when I was a kid for that, to be on that show, and my father.
Did you really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
and my
funny.
dad.
Story.
No, but it's a really interesting story because the agent called my father And my father and this was what the agent said. He goes, "Hey, listen, I got some bad news. The show, they say they can't use they can't use your boys on the show." And my father misheard it and thought they said voice. Okay, and he told us the story. He said, meaning they can't use your voice. So my father thought he didn't get the job. Right, like, and it was actually us that didn't get the job, but he got the job, and my father was devastated for like 5 minutes because he misunderstood what they said. They go, they can't use it, and my father was like, "But I've been doing this. I've been in this business for 20 years, 30 years. I do voices for every kind of cartoon." And the agent's like, "What are you talking about? No, you got it. Your kids aren't on it." And he's like, "Oh, thank God!" Like, my father was like thrilled that we didn't get the job and he did, right? Like, it was such a funny. I mean,
what was your first? When was your first? Are you like a child like star? Like, what was your first acting thing?
No. This is a very weird story, but basically, I did a few voiceovers when I was a teenager.
Okay.
I had, because my father, I could do voices right away, and I was really good. And I would call but my father surreptitiously tanked my career, like as a child actor, right? Like he didn't tell us this, but he told the agents not to use us because and he told us that they didn't want to use us. It's really ugly family story, but it was like one of those things. Yeah, it was one of those things that we never knew that we got shivved by my dad. And so like my father tanked us and didn't tell us that, right? And I look back at it now and I go, well, I was young, it doesn't. I just hung out with my friends. It wasn't like.
Yeah, I mean, I thought my dad was bad. He hit on my girlfriend at his wedding, but still, that's
level. It's not a. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Yeah,
I don't know. Blackballing someone's career is pretty bad too. I think I would take him, giving me props for my girlfriend being hot.
I know. Well, yeah, she was hot. What do you want? It's a compliment, right? You didn't have your father Machiavellianly.
That was his most. Yeah, he couldn't give me more props than that.
But this is the thing. It's like. Because it wasn't like I had this destiny and I wanted to do this for like a career. When they said the agent doesn't want to use you, I was like, all right, I'll hang out with my friends. I'll go to high school. I'll, all these things. It didn't really like crush me. But at the time, it did bother me. Like I was like, what? We're not good. We booked three things. We booked 3 commercials. What's that? It didn't bother me like
it. It should. Yeah.
Oh, it did. Oh, no, it absolutely did. Yeah. But I'm saying that like it absolutely did. Talked about, don't get me wrong. I spent a lot of time talking about this dynamic.
Yeah.
But it wasn't so much that incident so much as the competitive nature and the undercurrent of don't compete with your dad, which has always been a thing, like a Hamlet thing over my head. My whole career was sort of like anytime I went did better than my dad, I always felt like I shouldn't be doing this. And so I think that's like a thing. So, and I've always worked on that a lot. Like that's definitely something that's there. Like a cap on my career has always been a big thing. So anyway, point being that my dad did that. So I did a few commercials, then it's dried up completely. Then I went to high school and college. Then I got out and I just pursued it on my own. And sent tapes and made tapes and sent them out.
So you were almost a Nepo baby, but your father fought against.
I know. That's why I get mad at the whole Nepo baby thing. Yeah, exactly.
You should have been a Nepo baby. You had everything in line to be a Nepo baby.
I wish. I wanted to be a Nepo baby. I wanted. My father wouldn't let me.
Nah, that's cool. There can be only one. I get it.
Yeah, that bothers me, the whole Nepo baby thing, because they go, Michael Douglas, Nepo baby of Kirk Douglas. Yeah. What about Eric Douglas? Also a Nepo baby. What about Rob Reiner's kid? Also a Nepo baby. Nobody ever hears about the ones that don't go, that it doesn't work out very well, and those are Nepo babies too.
Eric Douglas, he still made a movie though, he still
What movie was that?
That last one they did. It was like he directed it. I don't know. There was one it was the dad. It was all 3 of them. And they're like a lot of time in a canoe.
What? No, Eric was dead by then, wasn't he?
No, I know he died, but it was
because he was a stand-up at the Strip.
No, I know, but this was before that. Like, there's
it runs in the family.
Yes, he had a lot to do with that movie. I don't know if he directed it, but he produced it, put it together. You know, he had a lot to do with it. I think
that's like a heartbreaking story. I mean, Eric Douglas is such a heartbreaking story because he was a guy who had all of the opportunities, and then he's at the Strip doing stand-up. He's trying to make movies. He had every door possibly they could open, just like he had Brother Michael, Academy Award winners, both parents.
Not heartbroken. It's not a heartbreaking story because it's like if you don't have the talent, then you don't move forward. If you'd had the talent, there's so many people that are like connected.
Well, I know, but that's not. See, that's not what people say when people say, "Oh, he
also
only got
drugs and all that." That's
but I'm saying that
drugs is
I'm
the
saying
main
that
thing.
Colin Hanks. Okay, people say, "Oh, Colin Hanks wouldn't be where he is if his dad wasn't Tom." It's not because he's talented. It's because he's Tom Hanks's kid, and it's like. Well, yeah, but it's also he could have been Eric Douglas too. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like it's not that. It's not nothing. Is,
well, I think you got to find your lane. You know, like Sofia Coppola thought acting was going to be easy because she was connected to that huge acting family. Yeah. But it's like then she realized directing is the way to go. And then she figured out her lane. Very exciting news for our podcast. We actually got some comments on a video.
Yes.
That was, I think we got our first 3 comments.
First 3 comments that we've ever had. It's very exciting.
And my favorite comment was, Brian, are you in bed? Like, that was...
Yeah, that's...
I had just talked about it in our last episode where I said, I tried to do some clips and you look like you're just laying in bed. And then somebody said that. I had backup. I had backup on that. I noticed now you're very, like, you're in a chair, you got the new light. Like, I thank you for respecting our space now. You're not passed out in your Smurf pajamas, but this is I thought that was
Snarf.
Snorfy Snorfs. So Adam, why don't you read the other comment?
All right, so this one is from Brian Gross, and this is from the episode "What Makes a Comedian a Hack." So this was episode 55. So Brian Gross says, I'm not a stand-up, but I wrote jokes, so it's fun listening in on your working sessions. Thanks for doing this. He goes, but I have a question. At your level, why would you guys do any jokes you don't want to do? Just for a laugh? I mean, you're trying to grow and improve, and you have other stuff you want to try, right?
I read that comment and I was like, wait a minute, I'm a little confused by the comment. Like, what does he mean? Do jokes you don't do? Like,
I'm not confused.
You don't want to do. Like, when do we do?
I get it 100%. I get it 100%, and we both agreed on it.
You mean? Go ahead.
Thank you. No, it's like we were talking about just kind of like it's kind of in the realm of a set where you're on stage and maybe there's an old joke that you're trying to retire, or maybe there's kind of a borderline line that, you kind of use to get them back, or you're playing with the audience or whatever. It's like when you're in the art of making a living of stand-up comedy, it's different than also when you're not famous. It's like, it's sometimes you really just kind of have to kill all the time. You may not have the luxury of doing this whole new thing you want to do that you feel is going to push you forward as an artist. You gotta rock that crowd so you get your paycheck and you get booked again and that kind of thing.
Sure.
So in the moment, like I talked to a lot of comics, and I talked to a comic this last week, and I said, oh, I really like that bit you did. And he goes, and I have bits like this too, where he's like, oh yeah, you could tell I hate the crowd when I do that bit because I know I'm doing the bit because I need to get them back. And so I dropped this joke that's always worked. I've been doing a little too long, but it doesn't matter because I need it. It's like it's like your crescent wrench. You just pull it out. This works. Yeah. And then you can go back to maybe the stuff you want to do on stage. And so that was kind of what we were talking about, and the idea of having kind of jokes that, help you in that, when you're working comic, it's different than this dream of being a comic or going to a mic or just being famous where you can just do a whole new hour and half of it works and nobody cares because they love you so much. you know.
Yeah.
So, but when you're just a blue collar grinding it out, you know, gig to gig, it's like you got jokes. It's not that you don't want to do them. It's just like you know that if you place this joke here, audience will react, and then you can kind of keep the rhythm going in the act, as opposed to just a new bit not working and then just keep going with the new bit, and then you just lose the crowd completely. You have a joke that maybe you don't want to do, you didn't prepare to do it, but you do it because you need this crowd to
so
respond.
he's referring to so the question is, he's referring to the well-known dynamic where, let's say you have a joke. If he's referring to this, where you have something in your act that you're either tired of doing, you don't like it anymore, or you've outgrown it, or it doesn't really fit who you are anymore, but you know it kills, so you pull it out and do it. And he's saying, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Is that's what because I thought he was saying, I'm not sure what I thought he was saying, but if he's talking about that, I mean, we all have pieces that we go, okay, I'm not a huge fan of that, and that, it's, I don't say I'm a huge fan, but I know that work. What I get to is, I know that works, I know that kills. I don't need to work it right now, and now I'm on stage here at New York at New York Club or Gotham or something, or the comic strip. I really should be doing these new pieces and really working them. But what I end up doing is feeling the pressure to kill, and I end up doing one new bit here or two new bits there, or doing something, but also pulling out the tried and true things that will kill. And that is a thing that comedians, must wrestle with and talk about on podcasts relentlessly, is like, what do you do with the new bits? And guys like Louis and those guys say, go up and bomb with those things and everything else. And I tend to be like, I still have that thing of like, I can't do that. I whether it's for artistic reasons or professional reasons, I feel like, oh no, people are looking up to me and I should be able to kill. And that's why I almost want to go up on some like more open mic nights, like kind of things like new joke nights and stuff, where you can go up. And even on those, I go up and I go, I'll do my new bit, nothing. Okay, something there. And then I'll go, all right, I want to close with a killer now. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the worst. You got to show you, like, why am I doing this stuff at this place?
On a new joke night?
Place for that kind of, like exploration. Like, you can't just do it everywhere. Yeah, when people are paying you a couple $1,000s to do comedy, they want you to kill. And so if they're not paying you, I always say, if you're not getting paid, then explore. But now I'm at the point too where it's just like, if I'm at a place like that, sometimes I just got to run a set because I got a show coming up and I got to run and make it tight. I haven't been on stage in a while or whatever, and I need to run a set. So sometimes I'll do some room that's not, a great room, but I need to say it out loud in front of people again, so I get my rhythm back. Because comedy is like sports. If you don't work that muscle, you will lose that rhythm. And I'm very much about rhythm in my comedy. I could say anything in my rhythm and destroy. I read the phone book in my rhythm, but sometimes it's not easy to get to my rhythm. And so,
right. And if you're doing, another thing is, if you're doing spots in the city, as I do a lot, like in your
20 years,
you're closing, as you know, which you've done a lot, and you're closing, which they do make me do a lot, or even opening or pulling the bullet spot or the closing spot. There is that added thing. Like when I'm up third or fourth, I'm like, oh, good, I can throw in some new stuff here, and I don't have to eat it. But when I'm up last, which I am a lot, and I'm not saying to brag, I'm like, I almost feel like I'd much rather go up third or fourth. When they tell me I'm going up third or fourth, I'm like, great, awesome. Yeah. But when I go up fifth or sixth, and I'm the last guy in the show, I feel like. And then they do that big hype thing where they're like, next guys, we're going to go out with a real bang tonight because this guy's a real killer. And and then I go up and I feel like, I've got these new bits that I and you know that they're not going to really work, like you're not going to work them out. I can't believe I just put something in my mouth just now. That was I'm getting rid of that.
She said. But
hello.
no, but I don't think people. First of all, great question, Brian Gross, whatever. I think that's a great question, and I understand it. It's just, but just to be clear, the dynamics of being a working comic, you have to make these choices because it's a you have to get the crowd up, you got to get them going, and sometimes the new bits have to breathe, and sometimes can't always use them, and sometimes you have to just bring out a killer that it's not that we hate doing it, it's not that we don't want to do it, it's just it's like you just don't know sometimes when you need it, and it's a lifeline. And so sometimes there's jokes and sometimes we write bits that are just, they're hard to rewrite a bit like that, because it's just, there was magic, there was like, this thing, potion, magic in a bottle or whatever. And this particular bit is just perfect. And then sometimes it's hard. Let me finish. And sometimes it's hard to, replicate a bit like that. And so, but in order to do that, you just have to try new stuff. But sometimes, nothing's going to hit harder than that bit you wrote 10 years ago. Sometimes, unfortunately, that is just the case.
No, I saw that Jerry Seinfeld interview with Graham Bessinger doing a podcast, and it's a great interview. And Seinfeld talks about how he talked to Chris Rock and how there are jokes he's been working on for 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And I heard that, and I totally understand it, meaning that I have jokes like that, but then there's that other thing, which is, since modern day, you're supposed to churn out like a new special every year, like almost, like not maybe every year, but let's say, but you're sure as hell isn't every 10 years, right? Like meaning that's really interesting that Chris Rock and Jerry Seinfeld are saying that, because I go, wait a minute, Chris Rock is also the guy who said when he goes out on tour, if he does the same stuff, they're not going to come back. He has to bring new stuff all the time. Yeah. And I'm going, well, wait a minute, I'm literally, this is just a tactical question. I'm going, wait, I understand that so hard, because I have jokes that are finally in their final version that are absolutely slaughterhouse jokes. And those took, I hate to say it, like years, like I finally clicked like one line here that changed the entire dynamic. And now those jokes are perfect and pristine. I never will touch them. I almost will never even touch them. They're so good. They hit every time. But that took a long time. And so when I hear Chris Rock or Jerry Seinfeld talking about, I've been working on that bit for 10 years, I go, wait a minute, I don't know what other comedians process. Like when I see Billy go out, I saw Billy go up at Comedy Village, and he was working on a whole new.
Bill Burry's referring to people.
Yes, yeah. Sorry. I always think people know, but he went up with a whole new chunk of stuff, and some of it was just, you could see, oh my God, this is going to be so funny. And some of it was already hilarious, and some of it was like final, almost like most comedians would take it. And he's like, I'm going to tweak that, and you can see the mechanics of it. But he was like working like a lot of new stuff out, and he wasn't doing like some of his classic pieces or anything. He was just going up and doing that. And I'm wondering, okay, what is his? I don't know what other comics. What's your to get a new special? How long does that take? Like to get like that, to have that be ready, special ready, because they talk about 10 years, and it's like, but they can't be 10 years because
it's not 10 years. It's basically it all boils down to your fame level, because it's like if you're not famous, then kind of, I think instinctually you feel like you can still work on these jokes because they're, you can drop them on an album, you can do whatever. But I feel like that is the beauty of fame. It makes a comic more prolific because they do have this huge fan base that wants it from them. Nobody wants new bits from us because they don't know us.
Right.
And so
nobody wants anything from us.
They
right?
don't. Right. They just want to laugh. And so when you have an audience that doesn't, follow you or think you're this thing or whatever, it's like they just want you to make them laugh. There's not an expectation of new material because they don't care. But when you're like a famous, working with Nate, it's like he basically, every 2 years, he has a brand new hour and it's phenomenal, and he's found a way to do it. However, the people wanting it from him allows him to dig in and find that thing. But when nobody wants it out of you, or nobody's expecting it out of you, it's hard sometimes to throw it out. And I know some comedians that do new specials all the time, and I don't know how great they are, but that's what they've told themselves, that they need to have all these new hours. And I also feel sometimes it's not good because they're just churning it out, but they're not really like tweaking and and making things better. They're just like, oh, I'm doing a new special on YouTube. Here it is. Here's another new special. Here it is.
Yeah.
It's like if you just spent like another year on that hour, I think it would be better than what you're doing. So I don't know.
I just realized something when you were speaking. I go, oh, you know what I do? I take one bit and I treat it like it's my special, right? and I work on that bit to make it like Freebird, or Stairway to Heaven. I want that bit to be absolutely like epic, and I work on it ridiculously, and I keep working at it until it reaches that level. But I don't work en masse like that in this grandiose, like, oh, I'm going to get a new special. I think in terms of, no, I want to get the Jim Jones bit to so that it is absolutely like, let's say Gary Goldman's, capitalizing the capitals of states or whatever, the abbreviations of the states, which is just an impeccable, perfect piece of comedy writing, and so I want I look at that and I go, or Richard Pryor talk, kids lying or or getting burned up and this crack pipe thing. It's like the bit is perfect. You want it to be, I want every bit to be that good and that. All right. And I devote as much time to that as some comics would to developing a new hour. And that's really not the best way to work it, I don't think, in this modern era, but that's the way I am, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's good, right? It's interesting because I obsess over the perfection of a piece and keep it. And that's why I have like 3 or 4 killer pieces, like a bunch of them that are like applause break pieces because I built them that way.
I'd rather follow Bill Burr's new stuff than follow you like doing your greatest hits. And
I know.
So, so I get what the thing is. I think most comics we have some lazy tendencies, but at the same time, there's this making a living thing that we're doing. And I also feel like, like we have to set goals for ourselves as comics and say, okay, I'm doing a new album on the 21st of December or whatever. And then like, that's what I need to do coming up. I have to set a date for me to do a new special, a new album or whatever. Like I know if I don't do that, then I'll just stay in this thing of like working and performing and killing and whatever, but I'm not like forcing myself to do the stories or do the stuff I want to do. So yeah, I think every comic has to at some point say, okay, I'm doing a new thing. Let's plan for that. So if you don't plan for that, you're just out there doing spots and working and making a living. It's not in your head that you need to be doing a bunch of new stuff. So I think that's the biggest thing, is make a goal. And so thanks for this question, because I think it forced me to be like, all right, dude, I guess you're right. In some ways it's like, yeah, I need to get the crowd up, but at the same time I should be pushing myself. So
that's a really that's a great, it's a great question, and one that, like, if I go to Comedy Village tomorrow and I want to do this, I eat it. Like I did a joke last night at Comedy Village. I did a new joke at Comedy Village. I was killing, and then I whipped out this new piece, and it just killed my set. Like, like it just brought everything to a screeching halt. You could hear the cartoon wheels going, and dead silence. Nothing on the bone, no response, blank stares. And I just was like, all right, back to the A material. And it, it's like, and it was so palpable because I had like high hopes for the joke. But it came out of nowhere. It had no connection to what came before. It wasn't framed right. My segue was awkward. So the audience was like, wait, now you're talking about this? What does that have to do with what you just said? And so the whole thing was just awful. And it just dead silence. And then it was like seeing a different comedian for like a 2-minute piece, like a completely different comedian. Oh, this guy's great. He's the great. wait, this guy sucks. He's an amateur. He doesn't know what he's doing. You know, wait, he's great again. He's great again. You know,
well, that's what happens. Yeah, when I like launch and I do this, like I'm banging, I'm pop, and then I try to do a story, and then I feel like I'm just not comfortable with this, but I force myself to do it, and then the audience is like there, like you said, you're getting a different comedian. I think you got to find a way to blend that. Also, one thing I think hurts comedians is our so-called comedy intuition of thinking that the audience isn't going to like something. And because of we dropped a joke somewhere and it bombed. Comics are crazy. You'd be like, I can't wear a blue jacket on stage. I had three sets and I bombed in this jacket, or like we have all these weird things in our head that we think they don't want to hear a certain joke or something from us. And sometimes we should ignore that and still try to do the joke, because this audience might actually appreciate it, even though that fundraiser I did in Long Island, those people stared at me like a monkey at the zoo or whatever. It's like they may actually embrace this bit that I think people don't like. And so that's the hard part of comedy, is you think you have to have that courage to be like, all right, come on, here we go. I'm going to try this song. Yeah. It's like, John Mellencamp gets booed when he doesn't do his hits, but he knows he has to try this new song he wrote about Newark or whatever. And so it's like, but even though the audience just shuts down completely when he's not doing Jack and Diane. And he's so sick of doing it, but he knows he has to do it because that's what they paid the ticket price for. So that's very similar to this question too, where artists of any genre, sometimes you don't want to do Satisfaction, but Rolling Stones knows, hey man, they came here for this. And so, I think there's that happens,
Interesting. Yeah, absolutely.
It was an interesting episode. We please send us more questions. We love I like this. I think this is it allows us to kind of connect to people. We know you're listening, which is huge. And also, we know a lot about this aspect of stand-up and the mental and the performing. And so please, more questions like this are great. So please feel free to send as many questions, and please make fun of Brian for sleeping and hanging, laying on the ground. And then the last comment was I had a Detroit Tigers hat on or something, because I only had it because I like the D, because it's like a cursive D, and everybody's like, "Go Tigers!" I really could care less about Detroit Tigers baseball. I just had a D on my. I just D for my name. So that's the other comment. Go Tigers!
So send in more questions. More wardrobe related questions.
Wardrobe related questions. Brian sleeping. Anything like that, please. All right. Well, thank you guys, and send more questions, and we'll maybe write a bit next episode. All right. We'll see you guys later.
The pressure.
It's like, that's the thing. Sometimes you write bits, and sometimes you talk about writing bits.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
It's chasing comedy. We're chasing it from all angles.
All
angles. Yay. Follow us.
Yay.
Tell your friends how good the show is. Those 3 people that commented. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, folks, that's our show. It's time for us to go. Make sure to follow us, give us a like, drop us a comment, and always subscribe. We're chasing comedy on all the socials. We hope you had a gas, had some laughs, and maybe you learned something too. Until next time, we're Brian and Dustin, and we're chasing comedy.